TV taught me how to dream. It was a life jacket. I don't think you can be an artist and not touch people.
Tell us what present day life is. The world saw the NBA bubble, the success. The NFL obviously chose not to go with the bubble, and there's been some canceled games. There's been some played games. Guys have caught it. Guys have got over it. Adam Silver said a while back, the commissioner of the NBA, we're just going to have to learn how to live with this. And it kind of seems like that's what the NFL is doing, just, learning on the fly.
Yeah. Well, first off, I just want to say I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I'm a big fan of the show.
Love, bro.
A lot of the conversations you have, man, have been inspiring as well as,
Thank you.
Informative, man. And, to talk about the NFL and what's going on with life right now, man, it's just to work and to the house. That's really my entire routine right there. I just go to the facility and come back home. I'm fortunate that I got a lot of people to help me out around the city, around the house to make sure that I got an unbelievable chef that's going to the grocery store and making sure that, I'm getting my nutrition and stuff like that. And everybody's just being accountable. And that's exactly what you were saying about the commish, mentioning that it's, we're going to kind of have to live with this for a little bit and try and make things work. And I'm just proud of the NFL. I think right now it's been a very successful season. I mean, of course, there's been the hiccups, but we all knew that was going to happen, man. It's just everybody being accountable in what they're doing, and it's not just in house and in the facility. One mistake could screw up everybody's chance to earn their paychecks in the NFL this year. So everybody just got to keep maintaining what we're doing, man.
What's the hardest part about all this, if there is one? Obviously, you work to the house, and normally that's low-key how it is during a season. But what's kind of been the hardest part about this process so far now that it has to be so strict?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is balancing out the time with the family, the time with the friends, making sure you're still maintaining somewhat some distance, knowing that anybody could have this virus and not show it. Even though we are getting tested, sometimes it takes longer for somebody to show up on a test, and there's so many different variables to the equation of what is COVID and how to be, quarantined and stay safe out here. There's so many different variables that you have to hold into account. And it's just, what it's doing is it's kind of making me be standoffish with the family and the friends, and that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing that I could do, because I'm such a family guy. I'm such a friend. I want all my friends around. I ended up grabbing a suite at Arrowhead because I wanted that environment after the game, being able to celebrate and hang out with the family and friends. And you know what? It's not that right now this year, and it's definitely a different feel going to and from the stadium.
Absolutely. Well, someone who has, been around African-American culture pretty much your whole life, swag, some people might say you have some black in you because of the way you carry yourself.
For sure.
With the injustices going on, with the shootings, we just saw a shooting the other day in Philly with the mentally ill man and his mom begging the cops not to do it, and they shot him right in front of her. What do you think about the current climate of America right now?
Honestly, I try and think very positive about things, and with all the unfortunate things that are going on in the world and in this country specifically, with the injustices, the certain events that have led to deaths. I just think it's extremely unfortunate. But what it's doing is it's bringing the problem to life to everybody, and you're being force fed it, and that's kind of, I hate to say it, but that's kind of how white America is going to have to handle this. It's just, because it's such an uncomfortable situation for a lot of people that just don't understand. And you're just going to have to open your ears, open your hearts, and listen to what's really been going on that a lot of people have just, let happen. And for me, it's calling out the BS. It's seeing wrong and calling wrong what it is, and letting that be known. And sure enough, I think the world is a beautiful place, man. There's a lot of hearts out here, and I think it's going to continue to get better and better because I'm a big supporter and a big believer in people want to do the right things, and what's right is right, man.
I think at the end of the day, what's happening now is like you said, the same thing with how NFL players are doing with the COVID, being held accountable. I think we're holding everybody accountable now. Anybody that stands on the side of hate, you can't hide behind closed doors no more. You know, you got people allowing those type of people that have hate to come out and stand in the front line, and we see their faces now. But they understand too that there's more people that stand on the side of love, and we pushing these people with hate out. And that's what I love about it. Everybody's being held accountable,
Exactly.
and people from all races that's on the side of love, they understand that now is the time to stand together in order for us to live in a better place.
I'm with you, man. Holding everybody accountable at all costs. And that's something that I think has been unbelievable in the NFL is that, it's becoming a huge discussion. I believe every single team had at least 3 days during training camp where we took 2 to 3 hours at the end of our day to really sit down and talk about these matters. Talk about what it means to be an African American or a minority in America and the views that can be subject to them. And it's just it's a beautiful thing because it's creating the conversation. It can be uncomfortable at times, but this isn't a comfortable world. Some of the best things that I've ever gone through in life, were some of the roughest times of my life. And I'm thankful for those opportunities to come across my life and turn me into a better person. And I think that's what's going on right now in America for sure.
Well, a lot of people don't see this too. We talk about the African American problems, which is a big part of it. But when I've been going to these neighborhoods, Trav, and I've been going to give back and help the people that need, it's all races. It's a lot of it's all races. A lot of people from all races that's struggling in these areas that need help and need people to know that they care about them and we hear them and we need to be their voice. So people need to understand that side too. Yes, it's a big problem with them killing black people, but at the same time, when you go to these areas that where they need and we giving back, it's every race that need.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think what's important too is growth is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Anytime we're trying to elevate and get to the next level, whether it be in life, sports, business, it's going to be uncomfortable. And I think both you guys made great points. Right now, at the end of the day, it's not even about black, white, brown. It's about everyone versus hate.
Unity.
Because all races have hate. And hate comes in every shape, form, and color.
Facts.
And that's what we have to band against. You know what I mean? So the one positive, there's been several positive things, but, watching Jack out in the streets and kind of watching stuff and seeing stuff and being involved, the one of the main positives I took from it is that you see every color of the rainbow out there. And like you said, Travis, it's something that has to be force-fed. I don't know if things would be as effective and this would have reared its naked head if we weren't in this pandemic. We've been forced to sit our asses down, watch the news. You see it across social media all the time. You're talking amongst you're talking amongst your teammates. It's a real reality check. It's a real look in the mirror. Being a white star athlete with a platform, what are some of the stuff you're trying to do in your guys' area? Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's a part. I don't want to say it's a part of the job. It's just a part of life. Standing up for the right things. Calling out the BS when you see it. I've always had that mentality. It's the mentality my father gave me as a kid, and the community that I grew up in is so multicultural and it has so many different social classes in it. It was a beautiful family of a community of different ethnicities and social classes, and I feel like if the world had a little bit of what I grew up in, an experience that you could take from one of my best friends' mother being from India and his father being an American black man, Irish and black of Irish and black descent. It's such a cool, unique. That's just one of my friends. I mean, it goes on and. It's so unique of a place that just gives you a broad mentality on appreciating someone else for who they are and their culture. And how beautiful you can be prideful of where you are and appreciate someone else's. And what I just try and push in on my platform and around the Kansas City area is, it all comes from power, right? I hate to say this, but systemic racism, the world that lives inside politics. I think the initiative to vote, and it's not necessarily the main guy, the president. It's not necessarily that. It's the little things that you can do in your community, the small initiatives that you can vote for in your community that can really change not only your life, but the people around you's life that might need that helping hand. It's just voting is such a underappreciated as I was growing up through high school and college. I just think it was very underappreciated, and now it's starting to really become a must and a job for everybody to get out and vote for the right things.